same distance.
Talk Brunch, served hot.
Talk Brunch Live, WWE Backlash 2020 post show, June 14th, 2020. I'm Rick Dara, Captain Brunch. I'm here with Destin Frazier.
So, can we get that Madison Square Garden mic for the next anniversary show?
You should, right?
I'm just saying, apparently you can whip that bitch out anywhere, so.
Yeah. That's the new Bluetooth. Y'all didn't know about that? You're going to get it soon.
Oh, God.
Cool Eyes, thank you for the host. I was telling you if you wait, I could give you the notification. It's not going to be on yet, but thank you everyone for joining us tonight. We are simulcasting across Twitch, YouTube, Periscope, and Mixer right now, as well as at TalkBrunch.com. So, that's always cool. Interesting pay-per-view tonight, right?
Yeah. They're very intriguing.
Certain things didn't feel like the greatest things ever.
Yeah.
But at least there was a lot less film stuff. I kind of wish they didn't say they were going to change the camera angles. Like, don't announce it, just do it, you know. Just have different camera angles on here. I don't need you to announce to me that that's going to happen.
At that point, you might as well have audio with the back guy in the back. Camera B, camera B.
May as well have Vince come on and say, you know, these old camera angles are passe. You know, and give that whole speech.
But you can say in that Vince voice, you know, these old camera angles are passe.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it was decent. I didn't mind, I guess.
Yeah, no real complaints.
We did have a couple of late additions to the card. I believe that kickoff match that they did, the United States Championship, Andrade against Apollo Crews, was a last minute addition, right?
Oh yeah, but it wasn't as last minute as some of these other ones, but
yeah. What were your thoughts on that?
You know, I enjoyed the match. Like I said, it's good to see them finally let Apollo cut loose. I mean, Andrade's Andrade, so you know what you see is what you get. Like, it's no surprise that the guy delivers every time he's out there.
I didn't notice. We didn't talk about it last week, but I don't know if that was the first time they did it. But our boy Cruz has some new music.
Yeah, that first time we heard it, that was new music.
Yeah, I think they did it on Raw, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Raw was the first time we'd seen it.
Yeah. But overall, yeah, I thought it was a good opening match. If you're going to have something that's royalty free, why not let it be that since you're just starting these two guys out? A shame with Andrade, where it kind of seems like although they're still using him on TV, he's lost a lot of his momentum as a result of, I guess, that suspension, which we never really got much details about what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, he held the U.S. title for a little while longer, but nothing really special, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, nothing at all. That being said, voting results came in with Apollo Crews at 29% of retaining, with 71% of you feeling that this would be Andrade and Selena Vega. Whereas the finish with Crews goes over Andrade with that toss powerbomb that he does.
Yeah. Which I'm surprised they still haven't named that cruise control yet.
Yeah, right? It's like right there.
It's a level of control for a move you really have to be skilled to have. His last name is Cruz, so it's like right there.
Yeah, I don't get what's going on with that. You would think so, though, right? Like
it's sitting right in front of you. Like, come on, man. Like,
but
in fact, you know what? We are deeming that move cruise control.
You know, at least they're using him, though. The fact that they're repackaging everything on the guy is an indication that they haven't given up on him. Because we were just talking on here, coincidentally, I feel like a few weeks ago about how that was a guy who they brought in who was promising, who was on the Indies when he was Uha Nation, and now they're not using him right. Now they're using him right.
Yeah, we're getting to see Uha again.
Yeah, so I'm really glad about that because it was a waste. There was really no excuse for it.
And especially how much they hyped up when he first came up from NXT.
Yeah, exactly. So
like I remember the last thing he did in NXT was challenge Finn Balor for the NXT Championship, and it's like he came up from that to just.
Yeah, it didn't really make any sense. We're gonna talk tomorrow though, in regards to we know that there's been a change in management. I don't want to get too much into that tonight. That's not what this is for.
Oh yeah.
You know, but we'll have to see how that slowly reflects. I know everyone was spinning in circles. From what I heard today in regards to The Office, everyone was spinning in circles. You know. So, we'll see. Kevin Owens was on commentary during this match.
I love the tie.
Yeah, he was being very formal there. Nice overhead belly-to-belly from Apollo Crews on Andrade in the corner. The one that you said in the chat room that it scares you a bit. At the end of the day, I get what you're saying, but you know, all corner stuff is scary at this point.
Yeah. Well, it is for me because versus the buckle bomb, I feel like there's less control with that move. Whereas the buckle bomb, you kind of have to aim it just a little good. With that one, it's just you throw and just it's gravity from there.
Yeah.
But every now and then, that one just scares me a little bit because I've seen people land different ways, and I'm like, you land one wrong way, that's a wrap, Charlie Brown. Like,
yeah,
good looking move though. It just scares the hell out of me every time I see it.
Yeah, very cool. I did really like Andrade's slingshot draping DDT. I wish somebody at some table somewhere with a mic would have called it something, but
that was cool. I didn't realize what he was doing till the impact.
Mm-hmm.
I love Apollo actually dodging that double foot stomp, which I don't think I've seen anybody really do yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was solid as well. And then you got I guess Angel Garza, since he got pinned by his buddy, he plays the goon role now, and he's distracting the official during a crucial. Yeah, he was distracting during a crucial cover, and Owens answers with a stunner on the outside. So we got some Kevin Owens involvement there.
Yeah, those two still got beef, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, overall good opening. You know, I really liked everything that happened here. No complaints so far.
Great start to the pay-per-view.
Yeah, very solid. We had the women's tag team triple threat match. And this was Bayley and Sasha Banks defending against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, defending against the Iconics, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Finish to this being Alexa Bliss hits Peyton Royce with Twisted Bliss, but then Sasha winds up pulling Bliss off of the finished Peyton Royce and covers her herself.
Yeah, kind of interesting that she decided to pin Bliss instead of pinning Peyton.
Because I guess we would say that Bliss was still getting her footing from coming down from the Twisted Bliss, so she used the momentum of that impact to roll her up, you know, and also caught her off guard. But
I guess a move like that would knock the wind out of you a little bit.
Yeah, but it would make more sense if they're going to do something like that. You're right. Like if she would have whipped Bliss under the bottom rope, you know, and then covered her.
Yeah. That's what we usually see. It was different to see it, so no real complaint. But
I kind of feel like the main reason you would end something like that would be if you're more focused on continuing the feud between Bayley, Sasha, and Alexa and Nikki, and you don't really give too much of a fuck about the Iconics, to be honest.
Yeah. Unfortunately, nobody's really interested in them as tag champions anymore because it was such a disaster last time.
Yeah, because you want to have the people get the cover, the person get the cover who you want to give the heat to there. When you really think about it, right? And I don't really think they're doing anything with the Iconics right now. Like, they're there, but it still seems like the focus is still the same women it's always been, really.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I did like that wheelbarrow jumping knee combination where it was like Bailey has the opponent in the wheelbarrow and then Sasha comes like from the corner and she does like the knee strike to the side of the temple. That was pretty solid.
Their combination moves are nuts.
Yeah.
They have so many.
Yes, they're very, very creative.
Oh yeah, I love I believe it was Cross got, I think it was either, I can't remember who it was, she got into that bulldog. It might have been Sasha. But he pushed her into Peyton and Peyton hitting her with that wheel kick.
Yeah. I'm bringing some of this up now for you guys to check out here.
Yeah, but I mean, wild match between all 6 of these women.
Yeah, all of them work really well together. And yeah, Bliss looks really good there as well. I'm glad to see that she's back in ring action because there was a lot of point where we didn't think that was going to happen for one.
This right here was actually really cool. She hit one half of insult to injury and then basically went into 3 different Luthez presses.
Yeah, that's cool. See, it's awesome that they're changing it up now. They change certain sequences, they add things, little signatures and Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Because
usually when she hits insult to injury, she hits that second knee drop, but she skipped the second one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was that double crossbody. Good looking stuff. Yeah, no complaints
all over the place.
Yeah, definitely all over the place. And Sasha and Bailey, it looks like at some point it'll be interesting to see them get covered in gold. Sasha get that last title only because they've left her in such irrelevance for such a long time. Then now would be a good time to change that.
Yeah, I mean, those two are running strong. So if there was ever a good time to do it and it'd be convincing, now's the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think they gave us a Bailey and Sasha thing here. Let me see what we...
Oh, shit.
Sasha Banks, Bailey, congratulations on retaining your WWE Women's Tag Team Championships tonight.
Isn't Kayla? She listened to us and got us, a better interviewer. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Now, it was a nail-biting triple threat match, but Sasha Banks, you got the quick pin over Alexa Bliss tonight, and that got your victory and your win. And
the win. I got the 1, 2, 3, the ding dong. So it wasn't just a quick win; it was the win. The win. Look at us. She got the talent. She got the skill. She's got the strategy. Hello.
All right. Also, you will be competing on NXT this week on Wednesday, putting those WWE Women's Tag Team Championships on the line. And, well, your opponents were at Watch Along, and Shotzi Blackheart said that she was pumped. And then Tegan Nox said this is the match she wants. What's your reaction?
Yeah. They are the role models and the leaders for a reason. Of course they're so excited to wrestle us.
Yeah, they look up to us. They're like little sisters or like little kids or something, like look up to us. Yeah, we're gonna teach them like so much. They're like so good.
We'll help them become stars.
Yeah, those little idiots better realize who they're stepping in the ring with, okay? Don't be all goo goo gaga and all starstruck in front of us, okay? Know that we're going to get down to business and we're going to handle them 1, 2, 3. So quick, huh? Super quick. Just like tonight, huh, Sarah? Yeah, just like you said, we won really quick tonight.
Got anything else to say? Sarah!
No,
you don't. You know what?
Congrats. Out of here. Get out of here. And we wanted Charlie, okay?
Like you.
Shotzi, you little idiot! You too, Tegan.
Why are you so angry?
Celebrate.
He howled at them.
Oh, God. Why are you so angry, baby? You won. But yeah, as they said, they announced on Wednesday that Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart were going to get the winners of this match this coming Wednesday on NXT. So.
Incredible.
I think the first time those belts have been defended on NXT. So
let's see how that happens.
That should be a good match. Better be careful though. Shotzi will die to get a win. We've seen her almost do it.
He's definitely a different one in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Interesting to see what's going to happen with her. So next we had Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus, which so we got to talk a little bit about SmackDown here.
Yeah.
Because this feud goes back there to the contract signing. Doesn't it always go back to the contract signing? At least all the good feuds do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially what happens here is you got Sheamus, who is in the signing, but he brought out like a lawyer that demanded from a medical team that Jeff Hardy takes a urine test. Like right there in the middle of the ring, because that's totally legal and sanitary.
Just in front of everybody.
Yeah. And apparently he can piss a pickle jar because that's what it looked like. Like it was the darkest piss. It was like Dunkin' Donuts coffee colored piss.
Oh.
You know, it was like Campbell's soup colored piss. I don't know what. I don't know who their prop guy is. Or
why would you ruin Campbell's soup for me?
But it looked like he pisses like Michelob, you know?
Oh, that Colt 45 piss.
It was like, what?
Oh. That motherfucker's pee was dirty blonde.
I felt like they were all corpsing when they saw how it looked. There was a moment where like Sheamus said something like, "Oh, somebody's been enjoying happy hour," and if you look, it is almost like there was a corpse there. Let's go back and look. Like no one could contain how ridiculous. Like it's so terrible. It's like no one gave a shit in the prop
There's
department.
certain bits you couldn't have had me, and that would have been the one because I would have started laughing.
His piss looked like that pickle jar from This Old Box with Damon Wayne. Remember when he used to he used to come out of the fucking box as the bum?
No, you know what it looked like? It looked like the thing Jacob Goodnight kept the eyes in and see no evil.
Yeah, right. Like what do we have?
Oh
going on here,
God!
Man? Like that. Like what the?
Do you see the sin?
So yeah, he pisses in this in this jar, and it basically leads to Jeff Hardy like smashing the piss in his face, right? Like he takes the jar.
They reenacted the old bit from when Shawn Michaels was feuding with Vince Jane. He even said the same line.
Yeah, it was but it was still a bit nasty, you know.
Yeah.
Like it was still a little bit disturbing. But that's mainly what ties into this, and they showed it during the pay-per-view again. They showed the piss, and then he sells it like, oh, like he's trying to brush his teeth. And, you know, it's like the shower after the crying game, if you've ever seen that movie.
Oh, shit.
Like he completely lost it. Ace Ventura parodied that scene, so if you haven't seen it, at least you've seen it there. But,
oh. I was not prepared for that at all. Wow.
That's essentially what Sheamus did.
I didn't know where you were going to go with that.
He did the crying game scene. You know, it was in the bathroom. He brushed his teeth. He almost cried. Like, that's the only thing he couldn't do because it was on Fox. They couldn't have crying in the towel. Watch the crying game. It'll fuck you up.
Watch the crying game and then watch that segment again.
Or just watch Ace Ventura and you'll be safe at least.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, at least there's heat in this match. You know, even if it's the heat of piss. You know, it's like literal hot piss. Like, if there's ever a reason I want to fight somebody, right?
Yeah. If there was anything that justified an ass whooping.
So what is the story here? It's not actually, even with all the stuff going on, it's not actually Sheamus that did this? Or how does it work?
Apparently I think it's going to come out to, like, it was Sheamus that, like, I guess attacked a lot. I'm not even sure how it's going to go. But I guess it's looking like it's probably going to want to be in the Sheamus frame, the whole thing.
Really?
I just don't know how they're going to end that. Like,
yeah. I don't even know why they started that.
Yeah, like, nobody asked for the storyline.
Yeah. Good twist of weight. Sorry, twist of weight. That's Matt. Twist of fate. Twist of fate, swanton, foot on the rope sequence there. I did like that.
I thought that was it.
You know, Sheamus bro kicking Jeff Hardy when he comes running off the barricade, you know, and then he drags him to the ring, bro kick for the finish. You guys were dead wrong on this one because everybody thought that Jeff Hardy was going to get his heat back here, which justifiably so, especially when the logic was that Sheamus doesn't need this win. But that is not the way that it went. 65% of you were for Jeff Hardy, 36% of you were for Sheamus. And by the way, as far as the women's tag triple threat, it was 50%, split 50% between Sasha Banks, Bayley, and the Iconics. None of you, for some reason, took Bliss and Cross. I guess, I don't remember what I voted, but I guess none of us did.
Yeah, I think we both voted Bayley and Sasha.
Right, so.
Yeah, this was a good match, though, for sure. I think Jeff hit that Whisper in the Wind better than I've seen him hit it in years.
Mm-hmm.
Like he hit it dead on. But I mean, what I liked about that bro kick to the outside was the fact that Jeff had to use the plexiglass to keep himself up. It looked like as if that slowed him down a little bit because
Yeah.
we've seen him do that run the rail for years, and it's always so seamless.
Yeah, that was a very good little sequence there as well, as far as him running the rails and him getting bro kicked off of it. You know, I thought that looked really cool.
Because it looked like when he started to attempt it earlier in the match, and he had to readjust and then just spring off of the steps. So you can see that moment where it's like, wait, plexiglass is there. I probably can't do it.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know what happens now as far as this feud. I mean, it can't be over. That would be shitty. Like they
No.
gave Jeff Hardy nothing.
I mean, considering the fact that the next pay-per-view up is Extreme Rules, there's a few places this could go.
Oh God, especially with Jeff, right?
Yeah, that's where that man has not slowed down a bit.
No, not at all. All right, so Sheamus, let's see what the hell this is here. I got a Sheamus thing.
Sheamus, congratulations on your victory over Jeff Hardy tonight. Now, the battle's become very personal the last couple weeks. What do you hope the WWE Universe learned about Jeff Hardy tonight?
Hope. Hope. Hope is something Jeff Hardy has very little of. And for all those WWE Jeff Hardy fans all across the world who are hoping that Jeff would rise above this huge mountain of an obstacle, all I gotta say is there's no fairy tale ending for Jeff Hardy.
That's very depressing.
Right? How you pale and depressing? That's fucked up, man. You ain't supposed to glow like a halogen bulb and then make me sad? Like, what?
If they move them both on in the feud, there'll legit be no fairy tale ending for him. Like, they could take that literally. There was no fairy tale ending for Booker T in this company.
Oh, damn. We don't talk about that, all right?
It just shows.
Made him get his towel. No.
No, definitely not. Not everybody gets a fairy tale ending. Vader didn't get a fairy tale ending in this company, I'll tell you that.
He really didn't.
You know, go back and look at Vader and tell me what fairy tale that is. You know, it's the shittiest fairy tale of all time.
That's the one you put at the bottom of the stack so your kid don't find it.
A lot of people don't, they unfortunately only know WWE Vader thanks to that kind of stuff.
Oh, God.
All right, so what do we have? What was the next match on this?
Let's see. After this, my God. Look at the poll. Give me a sec.
We had the Raw Women's title match, Asuka versus Nia Jax. With
Yeah.
50% of you wanting Asuka to go over. 38% of you saying it's going to be Nia. All of you are wrong. Well, not all of you, but most of you are wrong because this was a DQ, no contest.
Yeah, pretty much both women get counted out.
Mm-hmm. Which was disappointing. You know, I don't get what they're doing. I guess they're protecting Nia, but they don't want to give her the belt, which is really even more sickening.
Like, what's there to protect? We already established she can't beat Asuka. Like, it's not like it could get much worse.
Well, this is like the returning her. You know what I mean? Like, this is their chance to reboot her. So, I mean, I don't agree with it. I'm just explaining their logic because they didn't want anybody to lose that match, clearly. Otherwise, you wouldn't have something so stupid happen. It sort of felt like a waste of time when they did that.
It felt like it felt like a lazy transition into Extreme Rules next month.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it, man. And Extreme Rules has become a throwaway pay-per-view ever since they took the ECW name off of it anyway. It's like these are going to be, a lot of them are just filler pay-per-views when you really look at the big
and
picture.
I mean, they used to always call it the one night when WWE goes extreme. What, for like 2 matches?
Yeah. But fighting
like if you're
to
going
the
to go
outside-
extreme, you go extreme all night. Like,
Yeah, fighting to the outside for a count out was pretty lame. And then afterwards, Asuka hip attacks Nia from the apron, essentially to the outside. So it's like a mid tier bump there, I guess, to end the sequence. The match itself, I mean, no one got hurt, right?
yeah, there's the plus.
Asuka's still alive. She has all of her freaking limbs in full working order. That's
If you
one
ask her what day it is, she'll probably be able to tell you.
Yes, I mean, these are all good things. Nia looks good. In all seriousness, like Nia working as a big woman does look very, very impressive. That's one thing that I can't take away from her. Like, she has like a lot of power to her moves. I love her. I love that sit-out power bomb she does, just because a big person doing a sit-out power bomb just looks really good.
It looks like it sucks so bad.
She did that move that you were talking about that you called the Jack's Hammer, but I mean, it's a little bit wobbly.
Yeah, it looked like she never attempted it, but saw the opportunity.
As big as Nia is, she herself is a little bit wobbly somehow.
Yeah.
So, you know, you got to be careful about that. I did give her credit, though, for catching Asuka's kick, transitioning that into the powerbomb in the first place. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Nia did good tonight.
Yeah, the David and Goliath thing here, it does complement itself, and I like the fact that it works. She just has to be careful, you know, and I guess it's hard because she's big and Samoan, you know. They have, like, power. They don't know their own strength, literally, if you really look back at their history. Big, strong people. Not really much you can do about that in wrestling.
This drop kick Asuka always hits because it's so fast as she transitions into it.
Yeah. Everything here looks really good. Very solid stuff from both people. And I guess that's the kind of person she needs to work with, someone with a lot of experience, you know.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. But yeah, they both did really good. I would have liked a more definitive finish, but hey.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's really like my only complaint from this whole match is I just wanted like a finish.
But they're going to keep it going, I guess. I guess that's the plan here.
Yep.
Maybe that'll be Extreme Rules. We fun to see Asuka not hurt anybody there. Or Nia, rather.
Yeah, there's a challenge for you.
Yeah, it is crazy. All right. Oh, next we got the Universal freaking 2-on-1 handicap match, which the voting results came in with 61% of you feeling Braun Strowman will retain, whereas 40% of you felt John Morrison and Miz would go over. The fact that there's only 61% is kind of sad, and I almost can't blame the community just because that's the way that it's looked for a while now, right? Like, you don't even have faith that Braun will retain the title to Miz and Morrison.
Now, I've been able to knock Braun as champion, but there's a line, okay?
You don't have to rule it out of the realm of possibilities that this is something that'll happen.
This freaking Vanilla Ice reject tag team. No, like they're not winning this. Come on now. And they made it even more clear. I believe it was earlier on in the night when they revealed that it's not going to be, oh, you get the pin, you're both champion. It's like whoever gets the pin is champion.
Mm-hmm. And that automatically gave way to what we knew was going to happen, which is what winds up happening here. Because you got Miz at one point pulling Morrison off of Strowman and then immediately regretting it. Which I can only hope is going to be what you need, you know, in order for them to break them up. Not just for this to be like a little argument and then everything's normal. Like, please break this team up already. I've had enough with the music videos and all the other stuff going on, you know?
God awful music videos.
Yeah, like the last thing that we need right now is all of that kind of stuff. So I'd rather not have it.
Video hurt my soul.
I still feel they hurt the Miz's babyface run when they did this.
Oh, they damaged it on a huge scale.
And it's not like he's a guy who turns very often.
No, he stays on one side for a while.
Yeah, like I don't remember him ever being a babyface before this. Like I can't think of
when
a
he
point where
does change. He stays heel a lot longer than he stays babyface. That's one thing for sure.
Yeah, like I said, I don't remember it though.
It's hardly anything ever happens when he's a babyface.
I'm trying to think in my head. I'm thinking all the way back to when he first won Money in the Bank. And cashed it and became champion. I literally can't think of a point in his career that I don't remember seeing where he was face.
No, his heel ones are great, but
I mean, and then when I look back to the Real World and him coming in there, and even that character, honestly, dude, I'm gonna have to go back and look. I can't remember any other time in this guy's entire life that he was ever a face up until now, unless I completely somehow missed it. I can't think.
I'm telling you, you blocked it out because whenever he's babyface, nothing really happens.
I mean, are you counting like that little point where he was like buddying up with Ric Flair, maybe, which was almost
even
not
then
even a
that
face.
was more about Flair than him.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I can't think of any point where he was like a face.
Like
Oh, see,
Every
Cooler
time
mentioned.
he-
See, when Ric Flair gave him the figure 4, you know.
Yeah, and that's gone nowhere since.
I mean, he
He
still
wins.
uses the figure
He
4.
wins like a handful of matches every once in a blue moon with it. Like,
I mean, Ric Flair didn't even win a handful of matches with it. You know, he's already done more than Ric Flair. Ric Flair would admit that he's never. Ric Flair would tell you he never finishes anybody with it. It's like his known move. How many matches have you seen him go over with the figure 4? I think he started doing it during that last run, that whole Raw. Like, if he ever loses, he's leaving. Is the only time I remember him winning some matches.
That's when he
like
record like 90% of his finishes, right?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, pretty much. If you stop score before that, there's probably none.
Oh God. But it's like, yeah, like when it comes to like his last babyface run, the only thing I remember was him always getting beat by Shane McMahon, and that was the first time we saw Bray Wyatt wrestle as just Bray Wyatt with the Fiends. That thing happened.
Yeah, but that's this babyface run. When he got beat by Shane McMahon was the turn. You know, like that literally lasted all the way until Morrison showed up.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's what I mean. It's been one long fucking run. You know, the guy. This was like the longest, and it was the most convincing face run, even though it started in a terrible place. Because somehow it started, and I've always looked up to you, Shane McMahon. Wasn't that the whole story?
Oh yeah, that's where it started. Oh yeah.
The beginning of it was really crazy, and then it went into that stupid trophy thing. Remember the trophy that they had, that overseas shit, the World Cup or whatever, and then
the best of the world.
Shane coming and taking it and winning and going over as a face with it to turn heel. So that whole story went way back, just for Morrison to come back and be like, "Boo, heel again." As a matter of fact, when you really think about it, like his whole turn doesn't even make sense. Do you remember why he turned this time?
I don't remember.
I do, because that's just how stupid it was. The New Day was trying to cheer him up from all the shitty things he was going through fighting Bray and telling him how great he was and how he was the A-lister and all of this other shit, all the names he uses. And he got mad and picked a fight with Kofi and then wound up feuding with the New Day, the people who were there to cheer him up and bring him up out of the rut he was in from all the shit that was happening to him. He turned on and he started fucking with them with Morrison. It's the weirdest, most unconvincing thing ever. And they gave it to him. And now they're just like two goofballs. They're like the Bill and Ted from hell.
Oh God. Oh God, I remember it now. Oh Jesus.
You know, it's like none of that made any sense. It just, you know, like literally just feels like sometimes they just roll dice. Like they roll like a 2D20 and then just whatever it lands on is the thing that they put up there.
Just rolling. Hope for Jesus.
And for Morrison, who at the end of the day, I get it. Morrison's great. He's like the Mirror's Edge chick. He parkours and all this shit. Bravo. As a matter of fact, when he was doing it in 2011, 2010 and all that, it was even better because we didn't have all these indie guys or access to them. So it seemed especially special. Now it's just okay. You know what I mean? It's just all right. Underneath it all, like he doesn't really have that great of a personality, which is the reason why they put him with Miz. It wasn't for Miz, it was for him. Because sunglasses, slow motion, fur coats, all that shit, and even the moveset, you know, it doesn't make the guy, like the personality. Tell me like a good Johnny Morrison promo you've ever heard or something he said that was felt funny or that you remember. Do you remember what he sounds like? It's hard, right?
Hardly.
You know what Johnny Morrison always says, right?
God.
You know what Johnny Morrison always says, right? You literally don't. You don't know what he says because we don't know what the fuck he says. He doesn't say anything. You don't. It's like even if you don't like the personality of somebody like a Ziggler, you know how he is. If I told you, you know how Ziggler is, you just go, yeah. We don't know how Morrison is. What do we know about this dude except how he looks? Like his personality never shines through. Like that's not even to say this without him trying. You know, it's just like he just doesn't have. He just doesn't have like that kind of a personality. Like the Miz is all personality. You could learn more about him in outside of the ring than inside of the ring. And that's not to say, I don't think he gets enough credit for the fact that he has a unique offense in the ring. Like the Miz wrestles his own way, which is different from everybody else's ways. He hits all of his moves his own way. You know, so it's kind of like the guy's really solid. And Morrison right now just seems to not have much going on. You need more nowadays than to be able to just jump really well.
He feels like nothing's changed since he was last year. He has what a move or two that's new in his arsenal, whereas you see guys come back and it's like their whole arsenal is almost brand new.
And not for nothing, sometimes he overdoes it. You know, like a lot of it is a little bit too much showmanship where it's just like unnecessary motions that look over fancy. And that's the stuff that makes the indie stuff not look good. Like, just to give you an example, one time when I was at an event, I even think I put it up somewhere. If not, I'm sure I have it. Like, he did a spot. And to this day, it baffles me. I even sent it back when I used to speak to Conan on Twitter. I even sent it to him, and he explained what happened because I wasn't really fucking sure. But Morrison tried to jump off, like he hit the ropes, and then somehow his opponent was on all fours, and he jumped off of his back, and like trying to even explain what he did. It's almost like he flipped. It's almost like he just flipped off the person's back, but just landed on his ass like a kid, like just plop.
What the fuck?
You know, and I guess he was going to try to hit, like, spring off their back, flip, keep hitting the ropes and come back with something. You know what I mean? But there's just so much complication at that point that he just fell on his ass. And again,
I'm glad Conan didn't know what was about to happen because I don't know.
Because I was like, what was he trying to do? In the clip, I don't remember where I put it, but I'm sure I have it. In the clip, you ever hear me in the background go, what the fuck? Like, I didn't realize until after I uploaded it. I showed somebody, I was like, hey, look at this move. And you hear me go, what the fuck? It's because he landed on his ass. Like, I had no idea. But sometimes it's like too unorthodox. You know, like Jeff Hardy's unorthodox, and it's like unique and different offense. But it makes sense most of the time.
Yeah, even when you see Jeff try something new, you can understand, like, okay, you can see what he was going for, even when it doesn't work.
Yeah, like that split-legged corkscrew moonsault he does, Starship Pain. It looks cool, but does it really look like it should be a finisher? Like,
and the problem with it is, I think I've even said on the air before.
You know, like you can end a human being. Like, let's take a big dude. Who's a big dude? Any big dude. I don't even want to go Brock Lesnar because that's not fair. Like even a Rusev. It's just strange that like a freaking split-legged corkscrew in the corner would kill somebody because number one, most of your weight's not coming down on them. Number two, you put them you try to cover them exactly where somebody who gets hit with a finisher would want to be, worst case scenario, against not only half the ropes but all the ropes. There's ropes by their head, there's ropes by their feet and arms, there's ropes by their fingers. Sometimes in certain situations just them being there is enough for a rope break. That's how embedded into the corner they are.
Yeah, and I mean the way, especially when he lands, one, like I've said on the air before, never lands the same way twice. He can land any which way. And two, I've seen times where he's hit that move and he's literally only landed head and like from the elbow down.
I mean, honest to God, I've seen it where it just didn't look like anything connected. Where it was just like, all right, he just floated over them gently like a butterfly, and now we're gonna cover it because he looked pretty. He out-prettied them. Pretality.
Pretality.
So it looks cool. I mean, it looks really cool, but it doesn't. The payoff isn't there. At least with Naomi's, which is actually the same as RVD's essentially. Like you're really hitting the person with your body. You're not fluttering across them like that.
Yeah, the catch is all the way.
Which looks more fancy in that situation, and that doesn't make it a bad move. It makes it not a finisher. That shit needs to be followed up with something. That would be like if Jeff Hardy hit people with Whisper in the Wind as his finisher, and even that's more convincing.
Yeah, because it's literally his body coming like 10 feet from the air.
Yeah. But I digress.
Yeah, basically Strowman. Yeah, Miz pulls Morrison off of a pin, and he gives this look like, oh shit, I wasn't supposed to do that. Morrison tries to go for the pin again, gets kicked out of the ring. So literally he kicks out and just tosses him out of the ring, and then Strowman finishes Miz off with the running power slam.
Was it Miz? I thought it was Morrison.
No, Miz got hit with a running power slam.
Okay, all right. And you mentioned the whiff knee. I guess I must have missed that.
Yeah, it's that that knee he goes for whenever other guys are kind of see the position. He hits him with that running knee. Literally no contact. Like I could see the gap between face and knee, and I was like, "Oh my god, he whipped so bad."
Yeah. And it's a waste with Braun also,
Yeah, like this is Braun's first feud since he's been champion, and like this is what we're doing.
Yeah, like come on, that's what you're giving him?
Like this fucking comedy bullshit? Like no, like
this guy's gonna get big showed through his career, man. If he's not careful. Like he's gonna get totally big showed, and he's not somebody that can afford to be big showed,
He can't.
He's athletic. He should be going up against big guys. He had a lot of personality before they basically bled it out of him, Look, we have a thing here, actually. Let's see what the hell.
In a 2-on-1 handicap match to prevail and retain the Universal Champion. Congratulations.
Thank you, dear. Man, I have to give it to those guys. I mean, I kind of knew what I was getting into. You've seen the accolades that Miz and Morrison both had between the two of them, tag team champions, the Intercontinental champion. Miz has been a WWE champion. They're formidable foes, and I give them credit. They brought the fight to me. There's not many WWE superstars that are capable of doing that. And like I said, hats off to them. But at the end of the day, I'm still the monster among men. And, you give me an inch, and I'm going to take a mile. And you see I took everything that they had, come out in the end, still Universal Champion.
Congrats.
Thank you.
And that's everything that he had promo-wise, too. I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
He sounds good, but he doesn't have, like, a lot to say. But
Because he sounds like if he did, it'd be a good listen. There's just not much there.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. And like I said, I hope that they're planting the seeds of getting rid of this ridiculous team and all the little antics and jokes. I get it. They're really proud of these videos and stuff. See, like, I don't even want to hear it. I'm going to put that on with no audio. Hey, hey, ho, ho. No more of this fucking show.
Right. I like that. That was nice.
If you want to display Braun Strowman's strength, do it like with a strong guy. Why doesn't he fight Bobby Lashley a little bit or something?
Because we already watched that.
Yeah. I guess we have, right?
Yeah, we've already
And that wasn't that good either. Oh.
It wasn't.
Yeah, none of it is that good. See, even that springboard kick, if you were going to do it, that springboard.
Yeah, we've seen better ones.
No, I was just going to say that would even make a better finisher. Like, at least those in sequence when he's doing it there. Yeah.
True, the fact that he has logs, he watch this. Whiff City.
Yeah, because he's all over the place, man. I'm telling you, that's the thing. He's all over the place. He's like a distant cousin of Bailey's wacky inflatable buddy people.
Oh no, the one that never gets up.
Yeah, so it's like Morrison has to eat and drink a lot of water before he comes out, just so this shit pins him down, otherwise he would just flutter off.
God, I swear to God, I'd hate to see him and Taya bang. That motherfucker's making no contact. She just had to sell anyway.
Yeah. But speak of the devil, because after that we had the WWE title match. Drew McIntyre defending against Bobby Lashley.
The world titles did not headline this event.
Backlash himself.
Oh God.
And I thought that this might become a Black Lives Matter thing where they would just toss him the title because they want to get good publicity, because you know how WWE can be. And I was thinking, is this going to be one of those things? And apparently half of you felt the same way, because I'm going to tell you this, and this doesn't happen very often, but it happened a few times. 50% of you Drew McIntyre retains, 50% of you Bobby Lashley.
Whew. They teased it a couple of times.
Yeah.
A couple of times they almost did it, but fucking after Lana interferes, it gets knocked off the apron. A Claymore from hell to the win. Like, that one sounded nasty.
Kula doesn't like the interviews. He doesn't like the backstage stuff. Really? You prefer to hear us over the actual wrestlers? Backstage?
Well, we've been only doing this for I don't know how long, so...
Maybe we might use those moments to take a sip of our coffees and stuff. Which, by the way, mine got cold because I didn't put enough of those fucking interviews on, Kula.
Nah, this is what we do.
Kidding.
Yeah.
Busting your balls.
We play interviews on Friday night, goddamn. Oh God, but nah.
I felt like you did. I thought for a minute there, when we had the Bobby Lashley preemptive full Nelson, if you will, I thought, oh no. No. There's no way after everything. But it almost felt like there was way, and that's why they did it. They wanted to scare the hell out of us.
Yeah, that's what they did. Six other bitches.
Good job. I was successfully scared. I was successfully worried about what might happen in this, because that was a good way to keep Drew McIntyre looking strong and make it suspenseful. Where it's like the whole reason why he's hurt and he's all disoriented is because of the fact that Bobby Lashley got the upper hand on him early on. I was just worried that they were going to call off the match, which thankfully they didn't do.
Which even then, Drew would still retain, because it's not like he won. It's not like Lashley already beat him.
Yeah, but it would have been yet another match that just didn't happen for one reason. It's like we shouldn't have these gimmicks of matches that are not going to happen in a pay-per-view.
And they would have had a guaranteed reason to run it back. So
yeah, but yeah, this is all. See, Lashley looked a little wibble wobbly there. You saw that? Like, even the way he sort of went into that almost tombstone-esque position, just for somebody like Lashley, it's a little bit of a wibble wobble.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, they scared the hell out of me because after they started the match, the first thing he did was go to basically shoulder tackle him into the corner. I thought he was going instant spear, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, not like this. Not like this. You ever thought you'd be in a world where you're going, come on, Drew McIntyre, don't lose.
Right? Don't you lose to the black guy. All I'm saying is, his last he lost, no riots. Just saying. But oh no, but it was definitely an amazing job by Drew as always. I like how the second Lana came out, everybody in the room had this look like, oh fuck.
Yeah, Lashley being the slop that he is nearly dropped McIntyre on his head from that fireman's carry position.
Shoot, nearly.
Yeah, he more or less did.
He pretty much did because he was going for that corner spot that he does on the outside, but like he put him up and barely set his feet and just dropped Drew pretty much.
And afterwards, even the way that he lifted him, like the way he lifted him into the fireman's carry and charged him, he essentially charged the ring post with him. It all looked a little bit brutal. That was definitely planned, but that first bump looked a little dangerous.
Yeah, that first one, he was supposed to hit that on the first try. He had to redo the spot.
Yeah. And then McIntyre had the fall away slam on Lashley, which he also he made it look like shit the way he went over the barricade. Lashley did. Like, they were on the outside. He sort of does a fall away slam. I'm guessing he was either supposed to collide with the barricade or go over it. He does neither. It looks more like he makes love to it. Like he just kind of rubs gently up against it.
Come here, girl.
Even his flatliner, even that flatliner he did looks kind of ugly. I mean, I hate to get on a guy like this, but even the flatliner, the whole thing. Boo.
Nothing Lashley does looks good. Like
my only regret was that he didn't win, and I said this in the chat room, so that like, imagine if he had a run, right, or if one of us could have been there and just we wear a red T-shirt. And then when Bobby Lashley wins, like we flex, like yeah, and then like from now on,
the Lashley guys,
we just go to every Raw dressed in that same red T-shirt, going ah, and then instead of Brock Lesnar guy, you could be Bobby Lashley black guy, and get that over. How great would that be?
We always had to make sure we get our tickets on the hard camera in the same spot every time too.
Right in that spot.
As soon as the music hits, you hear boom and just
Bobby Lashley guys matter. That would be a good way for it, right? But no, Lashley's not good enough for this. I would take. I mean, shit. We could have had Shelton Benjamin if we were literally going for like a black person to be like a top guy. Shelton Benjamin, right. Booker T, fucking even Apollo Crews right now is probably a better choice than Bobby Lashley. If we're talking like just the ring, the look of the ring, and his. I mean, let's be real, the mic work. I'm moving along, man. You know what? I'm gonna give this a shot, and I know Cool is gonna hate me for it, but there is a Lashley interview here.
Oh Jesus!
Prove me wrong, man. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Speak and sound good. Here we go.
Bobby.
That's why they put him with a mouthpiece like MVP.
Just breathe. Just breathe.
Which it does work.
Just breathe.
Bobby.
I know. It hurts. I know.
Oh, Lana's chasing behind him.
Let's go.
She didn't do anything. She wasn't even there, right? Oh, well, actually, yeah, she was. Yeah,
she
right.
She basically cost him the match.
Yeah, I forgot. I totally forgot about that. Okay, so yeah, maybe they're splitting this up.
He proved us wrong. That's the best promo he's cut in years.
He didn't say anything.
Exactly. Oh.
Incredible.
Oh,
you enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Raw Tag Team Championship match: Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders.
We use the term match loosely.
We are using the term match loosely here, but I will tell you your voting results regardless. It was 50-50 again. You can't make this shit up. It was 50-50 again. I know, right? Man, what do you have to say about this match? Your opinion before you.
I don't think I care anymore.
Details.
I just give the Vikings the win. Move on. Let's go. Like, if you're going to advertise a tag team title match for a pay-per-view, I kind of want to see I don't know, shoot, shot in the dark, tag team title match.
Especially when it's a match that you just announced today.
Keep in mind, they announced this 4 hours before the pay-per-view.
Which means that it's not that you came up with this at the last minute. It means that you're just screwing with the fans. You deliberately left it off of the card and then added it, because all that was pre-taped stuff. It was a taped, produced segment with camera angles and sound effects and stuff that would have had to be put in post-production. And for some reason, it was just not added until the last minute, which you would assume would be a last-minute match that they're going to do on the fly. But no, this is already done. The only thing I could think of is that maybe they didn't think they were going to be done with all of it in time for it to be on this pay-per-view. So they were going to save it for something else, but then it turned out it was going to make it. So they were, at the last minute, they were like, oh shit, we were going to use this for Extreme Rules if we couldn't get it into Backlash in time, but it turns out that we did get it done in time for Backlash. Let's run this, since it's all taped now anyway. Because otherwise, why would you wait until the last minute to have this? So that's partially why we can't even really fully go by our voting results here, because this was added by the time a lot of people voted, and they didn't get to come back and revote. Which, by the way, anyone asking, you could revote when new matches come up and just skip everything and it'll submit properly.
I mean, like, they didn't even have a match. They just did a bunch of shit. Like,
yeah, nobody won. This match got canceled because before the match even starts, they're outside fighting and they fuck up Braun's car. There's a running gag with Braun's car now that's happening here. And it was weird because I thought these guys were friends up to this point. If you're going to have it elevate into them becoming, like, falling out, then continue that story that you've been doing every week. Where they're
the problem with it is, though,
then,
like, they've never really been friends. They just turned this into a comedy bit.
Right, but they were sort of cordial with each other enough that in order for you to get them to where they're fighting outside, something should have happened in one of their last little things. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of having all of these things happen between them, like all these little competitions, if we're not going to see, like, the blow off, like the moment one of them gets pissed off finally, and like they fight.
Because they don't know what they're doing.
So instead, it's like that skipped. And last time we saw them, unless I'm missing something, they all seemed okay with each other.
This is going to be me attempting to figure out their logic. They were only cordial because they knew the actual match was coming after everything, so they figured, why waste it? But then that makes this make even less sense.
Then they wasted it because they never had the match because they fought each other outside anyway. So if they were trying not to waste it, then why start it with them wasting it? You know, and then there's all these callbacks to stuff that wasn't good in the first place, like the callbacks to the golf clubs, where it's like the Street Profits have the golf clubs, then these guys have bowling balls and, you know, actual shit that kids can get a hold of, as much as they don't want Rollins back in the day doing the curb stomp because the kid could do it to another kid. It's like, nope, let's bring out a lot of shit that might be in somebody's household and, like, show that it could be used as foreign objects. So these bowling balls are here in these golf clubs, and the Viking stuff, which doesn't really isn't even a callback to the feud because they're Viking Raiders with the stuff anyway. But that's there too.
And then even worse, the fuck was the thing with Tozawa? I won't even disrespect Rush Hour by calling that a Rush Hour bit because it was too stupid.
They were trying to make it like a kung fu flick. Like all of a sudden Tozawa comes out, which that's not stereotyping at all. But Tozawa comes out and he's basically saying in Japanese that him and all these people are ninja and that now they're going to be facing the wrath of the ninja, if I understood correctly some of what I caught in the Japanese. And instead they subtitled it to the hell did it say again? That anything you can do, we can do better.
Yeah.
It had nothing. He said nothing like that. Everything that he said was about being part of these ninja and that they were now here. Like it was a big elaborate thing. They kind of indeeded them. You know, remember? Indeed. Like they said all this shit and they just made it that thing. Because I know for a fact that's not what was said. But it's a comedy. Obviously, this was more comedy and it was to show. I knew it was going to become like an old school kung fu style scene, which is what they were going for here. All weird stuff, you know. It's all. I mean, you know, there's going to be mixed feelings. I mean, some people say just don't take it so seriously. It's wrestling and everything. Some people are going to hate it. Some people are going to love it and want more of it. It's polarizing right now. It feels like every single pay-per-view now, we get this one polarizing match that everybody's either going to love or they're going to hate. And that's just the way that it's going to be. And in the case of these guys, that's what it turned into. It went from something where it's like you didn't know if they were friends or if it was going to be a brawl or not. Didn't they combine together and they became the freaking Viking Prophets?
Yeah.
You know, like, and they got their own little slogan in the whole thing. It's definitely weird stuff, you know. And the four of them do have good chemistry with each other, but unfortunately some of the writing sort of tips that down. You know, that's what makes it an issue here.
And the thing that bothered me the most, and what's up, Komodo? The thing that annoyed me the most is if you're going to advertise this as a Raw Tag Team title match, you don't give me anything else but a Raw Tag Team title match.
You that was really
you announced a championship match. They don't get that excuse. You said championship match, not shitty kung fu flick.
Yeah, what was a bunch
like
of things?
At this point,
brawl,
the next thing
it was a parking lot brawl. It was a backstage brawl. It was a kung fu flick.
Yeah.
It was freaking. Then they did.
It was everything but a Raw Tag Team title match.
I thought, and I kept every time they stopped, I thought they were gonna finally say, okay, let's take this out in the ring or something. You know, I thought it was gonna lead there, like that's where we were going. And
they did it like 8 times.
Yeah, it was like, okay, stop. What are we doing? We know how to handle this. And then it was just like they're trolling us more. We'll handle it like this. Wait a minute, this is ridiculous. This has gone too far. We know the right way to do this. Let's do it this way. And it was like, and it just never.
Come on, guys, gotta band together and do it this way. Like, shut the fuck up and have the match, please.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. You know, it really seems like there's some dorks in that writing room that are putting this together. And now we have all of the good production value and resources to make compelling stuff, but we're just not, which makes us just like most of Hollywood.
Like, there's people on social media who are even saying too, like, this was just them trolling the Revival because the Revival wanted the tag team division taken more seriously.
Yeah, but they just troll themselves when they do that. I mean, think about what happened.
But see, they're too stupid to realize that.
You know, the only really cool spot to me was I did like when I believe it was Dawkins who speared Hansen through the store glass.
Yeah, that was.
And he was just like, "Why do you spear me through the glass?" You know, but the ninjas and the Viking Prophets thing, and then to make it where they became dumpster divers, like literally, ha ha ha! I get more to come. They dumpster dive with the big spot at the end with Hansen come colliding down on everybody else, and then what was that at the end? Like a fucking monster attacked them? Like they were attacked by like a monster?
Know. I don't even know anymore. I blacked out at that point. I like real shit. Like you said, a monster. I did not know what you meant. I was like, huh?
And then it just cut away, like with the monster grabbing one of their legs, right?
And I'm going to tell you something right now. That whole Ivar or Eric Ivar, you're kind of cute bit, it stopped being funny after the first time.
I mean, certain things, yeah, I guess.
Like,
but no,
this is the fourth time. It stopped being funny.
Yeah. But yeah, the monster thing really, they lost me with that, where it was just like, come on, why did a monster attack them at the end? And it looked like a cheap monster. Like, fucking Seymour from Little Shop of Horror. Seymour from Little Shop of Horror looked better. You know what I mean? Seymour literally from Little Shop of Horror was more realistic than whatever that was. Was that supposed to be a gator? Because I just saw like a scaly.
It looked like a gator's tail.
Really? What part of that? I just saw like a scaly thing. To me, it looked like a freaking tentacle from like Overfiend or some hentai anime or something. Like, what are we? Like, what the fuck is going on?
I could see the guy shaking it through the motion of the tail.
Dude, I didn't even know what I was looking at.
I was like, I was wondering what they were freaking out, and it took me halfway through that spot.
I didn't know until now. I thought it was a monster. How did you figure out it was a gator? Did someone say it? I don't even know what was going on anymore.
No, it looked like a gator tail.
But if a gator was that's so bad.
Exactly. All I'm saying, we could have easily just had a Raw Tag Team title match. It wouldn't even be this frustrating. We've been on to the next match by now. But no, they want to be funny. Let them know.
What a headache-inducing match that shit is.
At this point, if the next thing they do is not an actual Raw Tag Team title match, I tap out from this feud.
Watch the
guy. I don't want to see another segment, another bit. No.
Look, thank you, Komodo Dragon, for the gator spark on the screen.
See, there he goes. He knows. The gator knows.
Yeah, too much, man. Too much going on with this.
Jesus Christ.
And that's what they did as far as that goes. Watch Monday Night Raw. It's going to be back to normal. It's going to be like nothing happened. And they're going to be playing air hockey. Air hockey now. Let's use the best air hockey.
And then we're going to come on for the show. You're going to ask me what happened. I won't have a fucking clue.
It's going to be like, what's next? N64 Mario Kart. You're going to see the four of them sitting on the couch.
Oh, Jesus Lord.
Big wheel racing. And then they'll get like big plastic big.
You know what? I'd watch that just to see Hansen on a big wheel. And actually, now that I think about it, one thing that bothered me in this bit, why are we doing the Hansen tired fat guy bit when we have watched this man do forever clotheslines for almost a minute and a half straight?
Yeah, but that was New Japan hands, and they slowly turned. This is exactly what happened with freaking Gallows and Anderson. They got these two guys who were really fun. Think about how prestigious these guys were before they came. All the Ring of Honor championships we saw them won. All the IWGP championships. The countless places that they wrestled. The feuds that they had.
Gallows and Anderson.
The story that they had. When you think, do you remember that these two guys started off in the Ring of Honor Top Prospect tournament?
You know what's funny?
Which is a big tournament where they all feud against each other, for anyone that doesn't know, and like the last person is the top prospect who sort of makes it. And it was one guy against the other. It was Hanson versus Ray as the finals, and then they kept both guys as a tag team.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Not long ago, ROH uploaded that match to their YouTube.
Yeah.
So literally, go on YouTube, go on our Ring of Honor's YouTube channel. You can literally see the genesis of War Machine.
Yeah, they had like a badass backstory. Even when Ray got into like a really bad bike accident at one point, and he had like
and
this
then
crazy
Hanson
recovery
basically rode
and
by
shit.
himself.
Yeah, and then they got together. It was like a crazy. These guys were like true warriors, and then they came here, and I like the presentation better. The music's cooler, the name's okay.
They were fine until they came up to the main roster.
But like, and it's cool to have some fun, but like, when does the fun stop?
Like, this whole thing has taken me completely out of it. I don't even recognize this team anymore. Like, 'cause I never associated this team with fun. I associated this team with, oh God, we're up against them. We might not make it out of here. Call your wife and tell her goodbye.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. That's all they can do is comedy bits. All right, anyway. What was this? Was this that is just the main event?
Yet, just the main event of the evening.
The greatest match of all, or whatever. Edge versus Randy Orton in a singles match.
With all the theatrics and the bells and the whistles.
This was another 50-50 one. The community was split directly down the middle. Finish being Orton going over with a low blow and the punt. This is the first time he's nailed the punt in, what, a decade?
They always tease it, but he's never connected with that thing for a long time.
Yeah. So, as far as this being the greatest wrestling match of all, no. I'm going to say that right off the bat.
It was never going to be.
That doesn't make it bad, but that does make it worse than if they didn't say that. Because now you have me watching a match, keeping in mind that you consider this the greatest wrestling match of all, which why would you say that? Who on earth says such a thing like this?
The thing that makes a match the greatest wrestling match of all time is they don't tell you that ahead of time.
It's such bad advertising.
What made the matches that Benoit and Angle had, the Guerrero Malenko match, their goodbye from ECW, Shawn and Brett, what made all those matches great matches is we didn't expect anything out of it, and they blew it completely out of the water.
Yeah. We expected it to be a great match on the merit of the body of work from both performers, not because they told us ahead of time that that's what it's going to be.
I mean, shoot, when we talk about SmackDown tomorrow, just saying, from what I've heard, they kept that match off of Backlash for a reason.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's ridiculous that this was considered that. Now, there was some cool stuff there. You know, I'm not going to say that there wasn't some cool stuff there.
This was a good match. Like, they did really good. Edge looked amazing. This only been his second match in 9 years.
Yeah. We did get, as Cooler puts it, we got color, y'all, because Edge winds up headbutting Orton, and then Orton is bleeding. I guess this was some sort of, I don't know if it was a blade job or what they do anymore at this point.
I saw throughout the match, there was a little bit of a gash right on his, I think it was his right eyebrow.
So maybe this was like literally hard way?
Yeah, he probably caught him hard way.
I'll have to go back and watch and see. Anyway, there was a color in the match, and then Edge used that new pendulum choke that he does. They call it anti-venom now, I guess.
It's basically an arm triangle choke.
Yeah, pretty cool. I like that he has something like that. I also liked him reversing Orton's draping DDT into his old Brood finisher, the Execution.
Yeah, and I like that they called it the Execution, because for years they kept calling it the Impaler.
Yeah, so there's callbacks, and that's why I say it's not a bad match. It doesn't make it the greatest match of all, but I like the fact that there's history and Easter eggs and stuff like that, because that was a Brood move that he broke out, you know. And then also Orton bringing out the Olympic Slam, even though Kurt Angle gave him shit for it before. We spoke about this on this show, on the Monday show rather, years ago, where If you guys recall, any longtime Orton viewers will remember that there was a point where regularly Orton had the Olympic Slam in his arsenal. And this was one of the first cases of Kurt Angle denying a tweet. You know, where it was kind of like someone hacked me, or I forget what his excuse was with this one. But at the end of the day,
it might have been the hacked one.
Yeah, Kurt Angle sort of said I forget what exactly his voice was about, but it was in regards to something with the Olympic Slam, you know, where he didn't like that Randy Orton was using this thing. And Orton responded back saying that, you know, he just clapped back, you know, the way Orton was back then. I forgot what he said. He said he didn't know that he basically owned the move, and he thought that using a move was a sign of respect or something like that along those lines. And then he also said, oh yeah, the other thing was because every move that you use is something that you came up with yourself, right? And then he said, including the 3 German suplexes. So he threw him under the bus. And ever since then, Orton hasn't used that move. He completely took it out of his arsenal. If you go back to 2010, 2009, 2008 Orton, you're going to see him using the Olympic Slam almost every match. Once it hit that tweet, I think this is the first time I've seen it since.
It's the first time I've seen it in a long time.
Yeah. And it also looked like at one point mid-transition, Edge was going for the gothic face drop on Prettier, kill switch, depending on what your favorite Christian was. And it gets reversed the first time, but then later on he hits it. And then we also have Orton with a callback to his days on Evolution with his leader Triple H. He hits the pedigree. So all of this is all stories and stuff, the stories from the past. Then Edge hits the rock bottom. And it was like,
right? Like, I thought the same thing. Like, wait a minute.
What?
Huh? Like, a Hogan leg drop would have made more sense.
This is when I feel like WWE becomes marks for themselves. You were doing so good. Everyone enjoyed what was going on. And then you had to fuck it up with something that made no sense. You know what would have made sense? If you wanted to go for a spot like that, almost a Uranagi spot, even though it wouldn't quite be one. How about the side effect?
Yeah. The twist of fate, the side
and then
effect,
it's a
something.
callback to the fact that he used to feud with Matt Hardy and the TLC matches that they had that were legendary, and the fact that they fought over a fucking woman in both shoot and worked angle. Have him hit the side effect. You know how much more meaning there would have been to him hitting the fucking side effect? A Matt Hardy move being Edge instead of the rock bottom that meant nothing?
Yeah, like. And then on top of that, why the piped in crowd noise?
There were times that the crowd booed or popped really loud. Like the whole real crowd was practically like a laugh track, right?
There was too much that they were doing to overhype this match to try to hypnotize everybody. This was going to be the greatest thing of all time. I didn't need Howard Finkel announcing. I didn't need the Madison Square Garden mic because we're not in Madison Square Garden. I didn't need the ref breaking down the rules like these guys have never been there before. I mean, seeing Little Nate in his old school ref gear was cool. But, like, too much. Like, way too much. They dug a deeper and deeper hole every time because I was like, you're just going to disappoint people in the end. The match is going to be good, but it's going to be nowhere near as good as you're trying to make it out to be.
Yeah, you know, like, nobody's going to fall for that, you know? Like, it doesn't make any, look at that. Like, we can have our own crowd here. And we just keep doing the show with the crowd in the background.
Look at this.
Want me to turn on closed captions?
Whistle, 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 cheer, clap, clap.
You know, everyone's agreeing about this. You see how many people that have been listening decided that we're right about this. Listen to the fans, right? Like, come on. They deserve better than this. Bring the crowds back and stop screwing with the finishes. Make some continuity. Look at how many people believe in this shit.
Look at this. It's amazing. Especially that guy in the front row keeps whipping himself. It's a movie, bitch. Put your things over the way.
I see you out there, Bobby Lashley, black guy. Right back to you.
What did you say if that shit happened? Taker guy is not dethroned yet.
Get out of here with that Kevin Dunn shit.
It's like, because it's like, there's a point when it got so loud, I was like, even they have to know. There's no way anybody's buying that.
So Edge hits the rock bottom instead of the side effect or even the twist of fate, which would have been even a better statement. Like imagine something like that, especially since you still have a Hardy angle going on. But he hits the rock bottom that has nothing to do with him. He may as well have gone for the people's elbow next.
I literally called it. I was like, watch this. Orton's going to go for a stunner next. I was kind of sad when he did.
So what's sad is we have a successful rock bottom, even though in history we've never seen Edge hit this thing before. But then he attempts a sharpshooter. Remember Canadian Edge? He attempts a sharpshooter and it's immediately thwarted. Like he doesn't even get to fully lock it in. The sharpshooter should have been what he applied.
I think they tried to spin it, talk about he was going from the education, his old spin on it.
Right. Which is basically a variation of a sharpshooter.
Yeah, it's just like whether it's to the side and his knees in your back. Like,
yeah. I did like the first punt attempt where he counters it into a spear. That was cool.
Then backed up and speared him again. I thought that was it.
Mm-hmm. No, he was very persistent in surviving this.
Yeah, Edge kicked out at 2 RKOs. So it kind of made the punt even have a little bit more meaning because it's like, it's the last resort.
Yeah, which by default, it does make this a very good match. Not the greatest match. There were really cool things in this match that we enjoyed. I didn't need them telling me that they're going to use new camera angles because that's what me watching is for.
Yeah, like there were certain cameras I didn't even need the new camera angle.
If every new camera angle you have is just going to be overhead, then take all those cameras back down, please. You said new camera angles, not angle. You being in different parts of the ceiling like Spider-Man is not an angle. You know what I mean? Like, they're watching wrestling from like where Peter first sneaks back in to take his fucking suit off from.
I mean, there was like one where like they were in the lockup and it was right below him, and then another one he was in the DDT was right below him. I don't need those camera angles.
Yeah, I don't need ball sack camera angles.
Yeah, like, I shouldn't be able to see if he shaved before this match. Like what the? Leave my camera angles alone. I ain't asked for this shit.
That's what the problem is with the ratings. It's the writer. It's the head writer. We got to fire the head writer and have more upskirts. That's what's been missing. More upskirts. That's what's missing from wrestling right now.
Oh my god. You want to get those Monday night ratings up? I want that Lashley taint shot every Monday. Like, no.
Pretty much. I want to see Bobby's Ashley.
Stop.
All right, what do you think? Overall thoughts on this pay-per-view before we wrap up here?
I mean, good job by everybody. Some of the matches I didn't expect to go how they were going to go, like the whole Sheamus and Lashley thing. Even this one, I expected Edge to go over. But definitely no complaints. Are we going to wait till Monday to talk about the Edge situation?
I mean, we're going to talk more about it when we have more details, but the report going around is that Edge injured his tricep during this match. Remember, these are tapes, so there was early reports coming in, nothing confirmed by WWE, but we hear he's injured his tricep, so we don't know the extent of the injury or anything. More news might have even come up by the time you heard this, but of course, that's what the Monday show is for. So
yeah, because it looked like if that's the case, that's probably the reason he went over with the punt, because the punt used to be a move. You got hit with that and we didn't see you for weeks, sometimes months.
So maybe he injured it preemptively and he had to work injured and it wasn't bad enough where he would have to call off the match, but it's enough where he would need surgery later or something like that. We don't know. I don't know if it happened during the match or not, but that's what the details of tomorrow are going to be for.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
A good pay-per-view though.
Yeah, I think it was okay. You know, a lot of it felt like filler. Certain things worked, certain things didn't. To be honest, I could have done without it. A lot of it, I've seen SmackDown's just as good.
Yeah, I could have done without some of the matches basically, obviously, being finished the way they were just so we could get to Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
Like some of that didn't really need. Like you could get to Extreme Rules with a lot clearer way.
Mm-hmm. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the pay-per-view. For those of you that watched it. And also thank you to everyone who was hanging out here tonight. Don't forget tomorrow night, 11:30 p.m. Eastern, right after Raw. Final Flash! Thanks for the sparks again, buddy. Hasta la vista to you too. But yeah, thank you to everybody that was here for that. And tomorrow night, we'll be here after Raw, like I said, and we'll cover all of the news. We'll go more into this injury and everything else that's been going on. Thank you to our live chat room. With Stasis Dreams and Clyde22, Willie V2, E-Man, Cooler Ice, Weekly Planet, aka Ali, TP Astro, Komodo Dragon Gun, and of course all of you who are going to be listening to this on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, SoundCloud, Podcast Addict. There's also the replays now on Twitch TV, TalkBrunch.com, YouTube, Mixer. We're going to have more news coming up with stuff like that. But that is for another day. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Talk Brunch Live, episode 389. This has been your WWE Backlash 2020 post show. I've been your host, Rick Dyer, aka Captain Brunch. So myself and Destin, we are out of here.
And that has been the greatest post show ever. Good night.
Shut it down.